Okay, Assalamu alaikum. So, uh, a while back, I was just watching that I was having a discussion with Logicked on the topic of does morality exist, and the discussion became quite intense, but it was a very interesting discussion. And just have a listen. I
You
have
know,
a
I might do it.
I have a
I
question
might do it.
actually. I have a question to both Ether Original and
Okay, I
Logic.
think your question is, does morality exist?
Okay, you can go with that. But
We're gonna
I
tackle
actually
that now.
I actually had another
And her
question.
name is the original. It's not Izzat. It's the original. That's her name.
Who is the original?
Yes, yes.
No, I think
It's me.
she's
I'm the arbiter of morality.
she's trying to be unique by using that name, but it doesn't really work. Oh, okay, but does morality exist? You can go with that.
What?
Yeah, I
Huh?
didn't get that.
Yeah, you kind of mumbled a bunch of stuff.
He said, does morality exist? He
You
can
can go
from
with
there.
that. You can go with that. Actually, okay, you can go with
Oh, I see.
Okay, well, okay. You know what? Let's go with it. What do you mean by exist? Can you specify what that means?
it. I think it's self-explanatory.
No,
It's not really.
Yes, it is.
no, it's not. Not at all.
It is. It is. It's
Okay,
self.
define it then.
It's self-evident. I mean, if you don't know what exist means, then it's just some sort of
I
weird.
want to know what you mean. I want to know what you mean by
What
the word exist,
exist?
because many people mean many different things. So define it.
Something that's present. Something that has properties. Right.
So exists means it exists.
Yeah.
Exists as a concept?
Everybody
Yeah,
knows
I'm
what
talking
exist
about-
means.
Like,
I would-
do ideas exist, for
I would
example?
say it's a social structure type thing.
Yeah, look, do ideas exist?
Uh,
In your opinion, Islamic Response.
yes, that's a good question again, and it can be tied in.
And it comes down to
Yes,
what
yes.
do you
No,
mean
no,
by
no, no.
exist?
It's a different type of a question. I agree. It's a different type of a question. It is also tied in with the question.
No,
do-
it's the same type of a question.
does
It's
no
the same exact
yeah, yeah.
question.
Similar.
Yes, yeah. No, no. It's some sort of a different question. Do numbers exist? And similar.
It's about a different noun. The
Well,
noun
no.
is different.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
the same question.
Yeah, yeah. I guess ideas.
The concept is different.
Yeah, ideas are bound to both existence and non-existence. It depends on what type of ideas you are talking about. If you are talking about abstract ideas, then they probably don't exist. If you are talking about real ideas, then they do exist. So
What
it
is a
has
real idea?
if
No,
that,
no, no. What is a real idea?
for example, if you are right now imagining if 2 plus 2 equals 4, right? So if you imagine that there are two trees and
dude. Don't in the middle of the fucking road.
yeah, if you are imagining that there are two trees and there are another two trees and you add them to become four, then that's a real idea. If you are talking about some abstract idea,
So wait, the
right?
idea exists. Hold on. The idea exists more or less depending on what the idea refers to.
In terms of reality,
The idea exists more or less depending on what the idea is about.
yeah,
what you're
yes,
saying.
yes. If you are talking about
Well, that's retarded.
a unicorn, no, it's not. If you are talking about a unicorn,
Yes, it is.
no, do unicorns exist? Do unicorns exist?
I don't know. How much does the idea exist?
Yeah,
Let's figure it out together.
I can imagine a horse with a unicorn, right? So does that exist? Does that exist?
If I have the idea that a unicorn exists, or if I have the idea that two trees exist, in both cases I have an idea.
Yeah, but in one case,
You're talking about truth and falsehood, not existence and non-existence.
yeah, if it coincides with reality, then it's existence.
Truth and falsehood are not the same as existence and non-existence. These are not the same.
Oh.
Yeah, but no.
Your brain already hurt with.
How can no?
Was not prepared for this.
How can
Oh my fucking God.
I mean, do you exist? The answer is yes. Is that a reality? The answer is yes. How is it divorced from truth and falsehood? Do unicorns exist? No.
What about the? Well, hold on. Does the idea that Does the idea that I exist more than the
Yes.
idea that I say do not exist?
No, it both exist. The ideas exist.
Both ideas exist in the same way.
Yeah, you can imagine it, but one coincides
I
with
thought that one idea existed more than the other.
we
I
were
thought that a true idea existed
yeah, but
more than a false one.
we were talking about reality. My first question was based upon
No, we're
reality.
talking about ideas.
No, you
We're
changed
talking
it.
about whether ideas exist.
You ideas obviously exist, imagination exists, obviously they exist, but they can coincide.
Where?
They can coincide to reality and
You said that the
non-reality.
idea that you said that there's a distinction between a real idea and an abstract
Yes,
idea.
yes.
An idea about something that's true, 2 plus 2 equals 4, and an abstract idea about something that's not, like a unicorn. That was you. You said that one exists in a real way and one does not exist.
Yes,
That's what you said.
that's true.
Do you agree with that?
When you imagine a unicorn, the idea exists, but the unicorn doesn't exist.
I know. I didn't ask you about the fucking unicorn. I
Yes.
asked you about ideas.
Hey,
Do ideas exist? Yes or no?
Obviously they exist.
Okay, so what does it mean to exist then? Because you're talking
But
about
actually,
a concept. Of course, people have moral ideas. So moral ideas, yes, exist. If that's the answer you're looking for.
Thank you. They exist. So basically,
ideas.
atheists do believe in unseen. Unseen, right?
Ideas exist.
This is getting tense.
Yeah.
Ideas are things that brains do.
Yeah.
Brains.
No. Ideas are
things that brains do. Brains do things. Yes, I agree.
Okay. Now there's a very a lot of discussion on this. If you are talking in terms of materialism, Marxism, then you can think across those lines. But the hard problem of consciousness.
Bro, give it a fucking rest.
The hard problem of consciousness is always there.
Fucking materialism with Marxism. Don't be a dumbass.
Can I ask a question?
This is a fucking riot.
Are you high?
I know.
Logic?
Well, let me
Am
ask you.
I high? No, I'm
You're
just
unusually offensive.
No,
Unusually,
This is the dumbest shit. Like, he comes in here, he tries for fucking weeks to get in here to talk with me, and this is what he wants to go to: is does morality exist?
How long have you
real
been doing
ideas about
this?
real things that do exist, and fake ideas about not real things that don't exist, and ideas exist, moral ideas exist, therefore you believe in the unseen, and if you don't, you're a Marxist?
What?
I mean, are you fucking kidding me?
no.
This is the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life, sir.
Okay, calm down.
You're wasting my fucking time.
Calm down.
You have an actual argument. Like, why have you worked so hard to get in here to talk to me?
Mar-
Why have you wasted so much of my fucking time in DMs?
I didn't call you a
pissing and moaning
Marxist.
about how you want to talk to me, and this is what you want to talk about.
Doesn't Marxism include materialism? Doesn't Marxism include materialism? Yes, 17. You were saying something.
No. Hold on. If let's say if Marxism included materialism,
Oh, it doesn't.
that does not make. Hold on.
Oh, come
Do
on.
you want to stay here, or do you want to let me fuck? Like, do you want to leave or let me talk?
Okay, continue.
Right. If Marxism included materialism within Marxism, does that make all materialism Marxism?
I was saying that
If Marxism acknowledges materialism, is therefore all materialism Marxism?
I was just suggesting that
Is it?
No, obviously there are differences. Obviously, I acknowledge that. But I was just saying that in terms of
How the fuck do I
in terms of theoretical interpretation, you can think across those lines. I was just helping you that previous scientists have said this stuff, and you are thinking across those lines. I didn't object to you actually, but you were getting offended for no reason. Basically the discussion started from does morality exist to do ideas exist to ideas are something that brains do, right? So and I then responded by saying that there is a hard problem of consciousness, right? So basically the discussion was like he was trying to suggest, Logic was trying to suggest that when he said ideas are something that brains do, it is like saying that the things that we imagine, or the ideas that we think of, are just entirely linked, are just entirely explained by the brain chemical activities inside our mind, inside our brain, right? So this is a materialist view. I don't know why he was getting so angry on this. This is a materialist view, right? That ideas are entirely linked to a material source, right? And I was answering by saying that there is a hard problem of consciousness, right? The consciousness that we experience is an immaterial reality, right? It's an immaterial reality. The ideas, the abstract ideas, are an immaterial reality. Brain chemicals are a material thing, right? Our consciousness is linked to brain chemicals, no doubt. They are linked to it. It doesn't mean that our consciousness are the brain chemicals, right? Our consciousness is the brain chemicals. It does not mean that. I often give the analogy of a light and a light switch, right? There's a difference between a light bulb emitting light and a light bulb switch which turns on the light, right? So you can imagine a light switch like the brain chemicals, and the light itself as the consciousness, right? This is the analogy I often use. And what most of the times the materialists and atheists find it hard to understand what we are trying to say is that consciousness as an immaterial reality is very different to the brain chemicals that are a material reality, right? So when I turn on the light using the light switch is not the light, right? So just because brain chemicals are linked to consciousness doesn't mean that the brain chemicals become the consciousness, right? So in short, consciousness is an immaterial reality, brain chemicals are material reality. Both are linked to each other, but they are not the same thing, right? So consciousness, morality, ideas, these are immaterial things. The discussion that I wanted to have further on was that what is the source of these immaterial things? What is the source of these? Obviously there is not a material source to all these immaterial things like consciousness, morality and ideas. There is not a material source. I mean, have you ever heard of any human being who has created consciousness? Any material thing that you can imagine who has created consciousness, or who has created ideas, or who has created morality? Any material thing? No. These immaterial things, the logical answer is, if there is no material source, then there may be an immaterial source to all of these. And the Islamic perspective is that there is an immaterial, there is a higher source who is immaterial, God, who created this immaterial reality like consciousness, like morality, like ideas. I mean, what is wrong with that? Is there any what is wrong with this explanation? Why can't this explanation be on board to the materialist, to the atheists? There is nothing wrong with this explanation, that there is an immaterial reality who created these immaterial things like consciousness and morality. So this is the Muslim perspective. A higher immaterial source created these immaterial things. There is no material thing in today's world that you can think of who has created consciousness, who has created morality, or who has created these other immaterial things, the best explanation is that there must be an immaterial source who created these immaterial things, and that is the Muslim perspective, that there is a higher being called God, Allah Almighty, who created all these things. And with that, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.